but his lifelong dream of playing in the NFL eluded him until he was 27. His rookie season, he completed 4 of 11 passes, and after it was over, the Rams left him unprotected for the upcoming expansion draft.
31 teams are going to look at you. If one team claims you, you'll have to go. He was not claimed. I called him back. I said, "You're still a Ram."
To remain a Ram, Warner had to impress the team's new offensive coordinator.
There was a lot of time spent over who was going to be our backup quarterback. And Dick was really quietly saying to me all the time, "I think this guy, Kurt Warner's kind of special. There's something about this guy, Mike. I just want you to really look hard at him." I knew that we had to stress him as much as we could. We had to take his face and put it into the fire and find out how he'd respond. And I was brutal with Kurt now. More brutal with Kurt than any player I've ever been with. I stuck a $50 bill with a pin on our meeting room, quarterback meeting room, said, "That's yours when you can throw a spiral, you know."
I mean, Mike was on him about every little thing. You wonder, why does the guy take this kind of abuse? Is he that bad? Boy, if Trent goes down, we're in trouble.
I had learned from years past that it takes, one phone call to say I'm coming home. So every time he'd call, I'd think, "Are you coming home? Are you cut?" He would call and say, "Oh, I got yelled at. I got yelled at all day long." And I'd say, "What'd you do now? Like, what? Why can't you learn it? What's the problem?" And he'd say, "I don't know. I can't do anything right. This coach is on me all the time."
I think the one incident that happened in the preseason that told me this guy's ready is we're in a run drill. The center snapped the ball and didn't come up to his hands. There's a fumble, and the defense got it, and I lit into Kurt for dropping the ball. Just lit, and I knew he didn't even touch the ball. But I just lit into him and just gnarled him. I chewed him for about 20, 30 seconds on the way back to hell. He never gave the guy up. He took the bullets, which you got to do. Didn't blink, didn't faze him. Great character and strength out of that moment. When that happened, I just felt like he's going to be special.
Done a hell of a job, buddy.
Thank you, Dick. I appreciate it.
Just relax.
While Vermeil and Martz now felt better about their backup, nothing prepared them for what would happen to their starter.
We've got Trent Green down. We've got Trent Green down in the middle of the field.
I can remember like it was yesterday. Your initial feeling is, my gosh, season's over. We can't play without a quarterback. But as you go on and start thinking about it, you start thinking about, hey, there's no other way to go right now. I better be positive. I better show confidence in the people that I have.
Kurt Warner checks in. Certainly not where Trent Green is and the kind of experience that Green brought to this offense.
We will rally around Kurt Warner, and we'll play good football.
And we aren't going to go out and find some guy that's played 10 years and maybe even been to a Super Bowl. We're going with Kurt Warner, and I sincerely believe he can do it.
Have a good one. Just stay within yourself.
The quarterback that no one wanted then had a season no quarterback has ever had. In the opener, he threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and won Player of the Week honors.
Quarterback doesn't look bad, Jeremy. What? He doesn't look too bad. Quarterback? No, he looks pretty good.
I just remember saying, I made it. I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. For at least 1 week, for at least one moment, I was considered the best in the NFL.
Week 1 was only the beginning. Warner became the first player in NFL history to throw 3 touchdown passes in each of his first 3 starts.
I believe the mark of a great leader isn't how great you are, how much you can do, but it's how much better can you make the people around you? Can you get something out of someone that they could not get out of themselves? We go to Detroit, we fell behind, and Kurt took his hits. This was the first time that I watched him become a leader.
Twice they get in there. What are they doing?
Because he started challenging guys. Kurt pushed, challenged the offensive line, the receivers, even myself.
With just a few minutes left, I was able to lead the team down, and we put the ball in the end zone to go ahead.
Yeah, touchdown, Rams!
Excellent throw by the quarterback, Kurt Warner.
Marshall Faulk came over to me, and he kind of just looked at me, and he kind of just pointed at his heart. So to have that come from our leader, now I really felt like, okay, this is my team. I've made it, I've earned it, and they're going to follow me as far as I'll take them.
The Rams finished with the best record in the NFC, and Warner threw 41 touchdown passes. Only Dan Marino had ever thrown more.
You've done quite a job, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
No, quite a job.
Waiting for that chance.
Well, hey, you got it, and you've done the most with it.
In the playoffs, Warner showed the three elements of his newfound greatness. First, it was his talent. He threw 5 touchdowns in the Rams' rout of the Vikings. The next week, it was his composure. With less than 5 minutes left, the highest scoring team in the league trailed 6-5.
I mean, that is just a perfect example of the kind of poise Kurt Warner has. The most pressure he would feel any time in his career, he responded as if he'd done it 15 times already.
In the Super Bowl, Warner displayed the third and most important part of his greatness: his toughness.
We were throwing the ball all over the place, but with those throws, I was taking a bit of a pounding. Towards the end of the first half, I got hit, broke a rib or two. Went back in the training room and I laid on a table and just said, come get me when halftime's over.
You think he'll be able to finish the game?
Who?
Quarterback.
Yeah.
There was no question in my mind that I was going to play. I don't care what I've been through, I'm going to be out there playing.
Kurt's the only one I'm really concerned about.
Yeah, he's tough. He'll be all right.
He's all right. He says he's okay. And I think he's hurting a little bit, but the doctors say he's okay.
The Rams dominated the first half, but wore down in the second. With just over 2 minutes left, their 16-point lead was gone.
Coach Ramil came over to me and basically said, you couldn't write it any better.
You couldn't ask for a better script. Let's go win it right now. Let's go win it right now.
About as calm and as collective as you can be, Kurt looked at Isaac. I basically told him I'm coming to you.
First and 10 from the 27. Warner back to throw. Rainbows the far sideline. And it is caught by Isaac Bruce. Makes a move to the 30, 25-20, and they won't catch him today. Touchdown, Rams!
I'm not so sure there are many quarterbacks that would have attempted that throw because he was very clear. He knew Javon's coming off the edge. Most guys would move around a little bit, check it down, or I'm not sure many guys are going to stand in there and take the shot he took.
Of all the storybook seasons in NFL history, there's nothing like Kurt Warner's 1999. When the year started, no team saved him a roster spot. When it ended, he was the league and Super Bowl MVP.
Congratulations. Man, what a year. Love you, Coach. I love you, too. Thanks for the chance.
The most stunning success story in NFL history is even more remarkable once you learn what preceded it. Before he was the best player on football's biggest stage, Kurt Warner struggled just to get on the field.
I've taken my share of flack for the fact that we only started Kurt Warner as quarterback for 1 year at Northern Iowa. And then, lo and behold, his opportunity comes his senior year, and then he had a little injury, setback. Then we had a game where we only threw it, I think, 12 times, and he started to get a little nervous about things, but from then on, he really lit it up.
In his final season at Northern Iowa, Warner was named Gateway Conference Player of the Year.
Career day yesterday, 357 yards passing and
4 touchdowns.
Well, you know, I'm going to hear about it, Rick. You know, I hear about it every Sunday from Kurt anyways. You know, if we'd have thrown it that many times the last couple of weeks, he'd have had that many.
Sure. You know, I waited a long time for this, and I'm just happy to finally get my chance.
After his college career was over, he signed with the Packers as a free agent.
I got a $5,000 signing bonus, and there was a no-brainer what I was going to do. I went out and bought a Green Bay Packer green GMC Jimmy, because of course I was going to make it and be a Packer for life.
The Packers coaching staff was loaded with talent, but so too were the quarterbacks, with Brett Favre, Mark Brunell, and Ty Detmer.
I took a road trip up to see him, and I didn't even really know what NFL stood for when he first told me. I mean, I know nothing about football. I'm in the stands at the Green Bay training camp, and I remember hearing somebody say, "Who's that guy from Northern Iowa?" And, you know, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I know who he is. And I listened, and the next guy said, oh, he's a camp arm. And I'm like, no, his name's Warner.
Most of the guys in Kurt's situation, I've played with a bunch of them. They're there for a week, they're gone. Do they get a rep? They may get a couple scout team reps.
He's blocked, this guy's free, we're hot, aren't we?
Steve Mariucci was our quarterback coach. He called Kurt Pop Warner. Mooch asked Pop to go in. He's like, I'm not going in. He wasn't ready. I can't say that I've seen a lot of guys say, I'm not going in. He's maybe the only one.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't recruited out of high school. He only played a year in college. He didn't get drafted. He shouldn't have been drafted because he wasn't ready.
And he's like, how was it for you watching? I said, that was exciting. You were out there, and those people are huge. I said, well, I have a question. What's a camp arm? And he said, why? And I said, well, somebody called you that. And the next day he was cut.
He didn't do enough to show us that he belonged. And for several years, he didn't belong. Eventually, he really belonged. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday.
Ty Detmer, myself, Mooch, you know, as Kurt's career just kept, we would always kind of joke about it. I'm not going in. No, yeah. I'll go in the Super Bowl, you know.
Kurt left Green Bay and returned to Iowa, determined to get a second chance in the NFL. He moved in with Brenda and her 2 kids in her parents' basement.
He would take care of my kids all day. He'd go work out with the college team just in case there happened to be a scout around and to stay in shape. And then the only job he could find was to do grocery store work at night.
He still had his green Jimmy, but little money for anything else.
We're driving back to her parents' house, and we ran out of gas. And it was, you know, freezing cold, and we were stuck on the interstate. And, you know, here are, you know, 2 kids. And, you know, it was one of those moments where you just go, what am I doing?
On the other side of the state, a team named the Iowa Barnstormers were playing something called arena football.
Up to that point, I was just like, I don't know what arena football is. I'm so much better than arena football. Yeah, here's a guy working nights, stocking shelves in a grocery store, and all I'm saying is I'm so much better than arena football. But it was that moment in the car where I said, I'm not above anything. I'm not too good for anything. If I'm going to chase after my dream, I've got to take the first step.
Warner played well enough in arena that word began to spread.
I called him up that July and August and asked him if he still had some interest and to give him the 11-man game a shot.
I'm like, you know, I appreciate the opportunity. I've got a pretty good gig playing arena football. I would love to play for you, but the only way that it makes sense to me is if you can get me signed with an NFL team where when I'm done playing for you, I can go into their camp and at least have that one last chance to compete for an NFL team.
I knew nothing about him. I knew that Al had contacted 10 to 12 NFL teams, and we were the only team that would bring him in and give him a workout.
Went to try out for the Rams. Had the worst tryout of my entire life. He actually called my family and just said, you know, I blew it. This was my last chance. I knew it was my last chance, and I blew it.
We were impressed enough to sign him. Did we know what we were signing? Not one of us, because I've talked to every guy that was there and involved many times since. What we thought we were signing was a 4th quarterback that could compete for the 3rd quarterback job.
Good read, Kurt. That was a good read. But always remember, on first down, you don't want to pass up a sure completion.
He was very impressive as the scout team quarterback. In fact, he did so well, he was selected as the most valuable scout team player in 1998.
1 year later, the scout team MVP would win the league MVP, the Super Bowl MVP, and a prize to make Green Bay a distant memory.
I'm going to try to take that Jimmy out of your driveway. Enjoy the truck. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Kurt Warner was on the road to being an all-time great.